as I sneak behind you guys in the least creepy way I can. That was awesome. Sounds pretty good up here. Like you said, that is a fun thing to do in the middle of the day, huh?
It is, totally.
So let's talk. I want to kick off with the record. The record is out now. It's been out Guppy for about a month now. I think it came out last month, April.
Yes.
I guess the standard question is to ask about, hey, how's it feel that your record's out? But I actually really want to know how it feels for you guys because it was a hell of a long road with this record.
Yes, it feels so good to have this record out. It took us, like, you know, some of the songs from this record are about like 3 or so years old for us. So it just feels really great. And also, you know, like some of these songs we've been touring for 3 years, and like having this, like we've just come back from a month-long tour, and like it gives the songs a new life when like now people know the words.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels really good. So.
Absolutely. So what makes a song that you recorded 3 years ago make the cut after so much time?
It's hard. I feel like, you know, we made the record twice, we recorded it twice, and then I feel like we just kind of looked at the first 10 songs that we recorded and kind of just were like, which are the ones that make the cut? And luckily, a lot of them did, or half of them did.
Half of them did. We had written 4 new songs after those first 10 songs, and it was kind of pretty clear, like, which songs fit with those new ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I read that, you know, the change that happened that I found fascinating was that it wasn't that you didn't like the original work or the first version of this record. It's just what you wanted the record to be changed.
Yes. I mean, yeah, and I think that's so important to mention. Like, Justin Pizzoferrato did an incredible job with the record the first time. I think we just had no idea what we wanted and who we were as a band, and I think it took us going into those recording sessions kind of being like, oh, well, we don't know, like, whatever you think is good, to kind of come out of it being like, oh, we're a pop band. Like, and that kind of was the big takeaway. I think it was more than anything for us, we were like, oh, like, that's what we do best.
Was there like a lightning bulb, like a lighting bulb? What am I trying to say? Light bulb. Lightning
There was a
bulb?
big lightning
That'd be a
bulb.
cool light bulb.
Lightning
A lightning
bulb.
bulb. Was there a light bulb moment for you guys that kind of you realized who you were and you realized you were a pop band?
I don't think so. I think it was weirdly like we sat with the record, our original attempt at the record, and I think we all kind of came to it separately, which was actually better that way. I think kind of like we all and then I think from there writing since then has been kind of easier because I feel like we sort of are more so on the same page with like what we want out of these songs. I used to feel more so like our sound kind of changed with like every song that we wrote. And like now I kind of feel like we're more like zeroed in.
Right on. Now, what makes you guys a pop band? Because it's funny you bring that word up, pop. I always thought you guys was like, you know, indie rock or punk or, you know, when I first started hearing you guys a couple years ago. But then with Guppy, that's the word I keep hearing is that pop. So what, I guess, in today's day and age, what makes a pop band?
I mean, it's hard to say because I feel like, you know, pop can be so many different things.
Totally.
You know, like, but I think for us it was just like, we kind of agreed that we weren't going to shy away from like really catchy melodies and like, you know, I think we just wanted the record to sound like huge, and more than anything, like we had this idea of like we wanted people to be able to listen to it like in their cars with like the windows down and scream along and like and I think like and so many of like my favorite moments with music like are attached to like moments of like extreme like joy and like giddiness, and I think like we just kind of agreed, like we were like, we want to make a record like that.
Totally.
Yeah.
And you guys certainly did, at least in my opinion, when listening to this record.
Thank you.
I want to talk about the track listing really quick because some of these titles are awesome. You got a track called DQ, which I totally approve of as a Dairy Queen fanatic. And then Ruby is on this record, which I was so happy to see because that's I guess my introduction to you guys, and the Ruby music video, which we have a clip of we're going to show right now. Can we talk about the music video really quick? I know it's been out for probably like a year now, but I love like it's like you're on like a public access TV show and
it was so fun. It was so fun to me. I mean, like most of us grew up doing acting. Like that was really like our first like art thing that we all did. Like Spencer grew up doing acting. Dan and I were in like so many musical theater plays growing up together. And like our friend came up with the idea, and it just sounded like it was like perfect. It was like we all kind of got to do like, you know, improv, and like we did it all in one day, and we made all of the sets, and
we have a lot of outtakes we want to release at some point.
Oh yeah,
there are like vocals or like, you know, like dialogue for every single like sketch in like the review.
All the different characters. Dude, it's hilarious.
It was so much fun. I don't think I think that's one of the most fun things we've gotten to do as a band was making that music video.
Another thing I want to talk to you guys about is some of these lyrics I got to ask you about on this record that are like, you talk about it being like a huge and a giddy record, but these lyrics are hilarious. I loved when your dog died. It is cruel but true.
Yeah.
Was that dog just like a dick? What was that?
No.
That's what
People
you said
love to talk
initially,
about this.
right?
That was the original
Yeah,
It
lyric.
was like
Dog.
I met this dog who was a total dick, so I wrote this song
No.
called DQ.
I
We
think
get
it's
PETA
just,
on us.
that DQ for me is just a song. It's like that song has like it's like some of my favorite lyrics that I wrote on the record, and I think I'm just in almost all of my lyrics on the record. I'm just trying to like make fun of myself for the things that I'm embarrassed of, and like, one of those things is that I am a total like youngest child. Like I need attention and affection and like to feel like the best and I think it was just this feeling of like, am I the most important thing to you now that like it's not about a real dog. There's no dog was harmed in
In the making of this record?
Yes.
Speaking of the disclaimer on the back of the CD. I want to take it back for a second because what's cool about Billboard Live is there's a lot of viewers that learn about new music through this show, and maybe they aren't familiar with Charly Bliss. You guys are all from Connecticut, and you all kind of grew up together in a way, right?
Yes,
Yeah,
totally.
totally.
Sam is my older brother. Dan and I met doing theater stuff when we were like 11 or 12. Spencer and Dan went to summer camp together growing up, and then Dan introduced me to Spencer when I was 15 at a Tokyo Police Club concert.
As
Down
the
the road,
story
right?
goes.
Outside
Just
Webster
right-
Hall, I've heard?
outside of Webster Hall, yeah.
As the story goes.
Can you tell that story really quick? Because I've actually read about you telling that story, and like you can smell alcohol on his breath, and it reminded you of like a My So-Called
I
Life
love
episode.
to
Spencer
tell
is a
this story.
partier. He's a party monster.
I love to tell this story.
I am drunk right now.
I was like a musical theater nerd in high school, and like and so like I met Spencer, and he was outside of the show. It was first of all, it was the first show my mom let me go to alone.
Oh, wow.
But she did drive us in. I feel like so she was just like, I'll wait outside while you guys are in there.
That's a good mom.
Yeah. Oh, she's the best. But so we met Spencer in line, and he had like a Snapple bottle full of, was it vodka or like?
Probably.
It might have
Probably
been.
vodka and
It's either
Snapple.
vodka or rum.
Yeah, it was like something kind of gross. You don't really want to.
Yeah.
But I could smell the alcohol in his breath, and exactly like you said, it did feel like a My So-Called Life moment. I was like, I'm in high school and my life is beginning. Like, it's all starting right here. I didn't have any of the alcohol. I just
True.
was with someone and that was enough for me to really feel like I was a grown up.
Contact high.
Yeah, so like, yeah.
You're like, woo!
And then I think I sat at the whole concert like so nervous. I was like, I think there was like a mosh pit, and then I was really. I remember like standing next to you, being like, I don't want to get hurt. Baby.
That's amazing. Now, I guess, so it's kind of cool. This all started at a live show. You guys sort of built your rep early on with your live shows, and you're actually going to be heading out on a headlining tour in support of Guppy. Is that true?
We actually just got back from our headlining
Oh, you got
tour.
back from the headlining
but there's a
tour.
couple more dates left.
I was gonna say.
It's weird. We just got back from being gone for a month, so we did a
Okay.
full U.S. tour. But then in like a month, we're going and finishing the tour.
You're like 3 more
and we're
dates.
going to Boston, D.C., and New Haven, and then
Oh,
2
right
days
on.
with Pup.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So how has tour been now that it's wrapped, or it's kind of wrapping up, kind of winding down? How's it been? Kind of, was that your first headlining tour?
It
First
was
our- yeah,
it was our
ever.
first
What's that like as a
Was.
band? I mean, I feel like fans don't really give that much thought, but it must be totally different for you guys, right?
It was totally weird, like going to cities we've only been to like once before or never, and like having people show up
People
and
show up, right?
know the
Yeah.
words.
Know
It's
the
very
words.
weird.
Yeah.
Super
Who are
cool.
you people?
Yeah,
Yeah, honestly.
yeah. No, it was really cool. It was really awesome.
I think there were so many nights where, seriously, where we would get on stage and be like, where
What?
did all of you come from? Like, Denver was the big one for us because we played Denver a year ago and there were 3 people in the audience. And then we played Denver and that was like totally packed. It was like
Yeah.
the whole venue was like super, and everyone was like dancing and they knew the word. And we were just like, we were so expecting the Denver show to be like empty.
Yeah.
So that
Right.
was,
It was a nice
Thank
surprise,
you,
yeah.
Denver
That's
friends.
amazing.
Yeah.
We had a band on last week. We were talking about, when you see streaming numbers as a band, it's well and good and like cool people to listen to our music, but it's totally different when you see the faces of those numbers and you see like the people and the human beings that
Totally.
are
Totally.
actually enjoying the music.